Turn the volume up. Things are about to get raunchy.
Welcome back to the Raunchy Regret Podcast. This is B-Word. Boys, I didn't even get a chance to listen to the last episode, so I don't know what kind of shit talking you all did, but
that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I let a few choice words fly.
That doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock me because I did the exact same thing for anybody else who wasn't here.
I'd say the same thing, but I've never been here or never missed an episode, so I haven't had the luxury of listening to you bitch about anything.
You, sir, are the rock that grows moss. We slightly appreciate you. You are. I'm actually a little disappointed that you don't have a life outside of the podcast, but that's okay. You know, it happens.
Not all heroes wear capes, my friend.
That's right. That's right.
No,
on that note, since Gnome's not here this week, I'm just going to call him out and say
that guy.
Bitch.
He's a piece of shit.
The reason why he's not here is because the Cowboys won. I'll guarantee you that. Which is fine. We don't have to. You know, nobody's perfect. So, however, I am going to laugh my fucking ass off if the Jets pull out a win tomorrow night. Not just because I hate the 49ers, but because it's also Dome's team. And I'm sure that they're going to do something together and watch it. And Dome shows no emotion when it comes to football because he's been raped too much. And I think that it would just be phenomenal to see that Gnomey gets raped a little bit, especially by Dome's team. So, anyway, good weekend of football, boys.
When his ass is chapped, it's fucking chapped.
Yeah. Angry little midgets, dude. That's crazy. Stoned, how was your week, buddy?
It was good. It was good. I've been kind of struggling all day trying to fucking write this, economics paper. I fucking hate this class.
Is it macro or micro?
Macro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking micro on the side, and I'm just going to get all that shit done. One of my best friends, his original declared major was economics.
Yeah.
And he took 2 economics classes and quickly switched out. Yeah. And he was like, dude, this shit sucks. And I was like, really? And I remembered that was like years ago. And then when I took this class, I was like, I wonder if like he was right. And sure shit. Yeah. Like first week, I was like, oh, fuck this degree. Whoever wants this shit is a fucking loser. My God.
I will tell you, micro is easier than macro. Like
that's what everyone said. Yeah. And they wanted to put me in macro first. And I was like, what the fuck? Really? Yeah. God damn it. But yeah, it's just been a struggle all day. But yesterday, I went to go see Tom Segura and had a pretty good time. I tried his vodka. His vodka is really good.
Yeah?
Gotta say, him and Birdie Boy, they're doing pretty good with that vodka. So, had a good time and made some birria soup. That came out really, really good. That was kind of... I'd been tossing around that idea for a while. I was like, I really could make this into a soup because there's so much fucking stock that comes with it.
So good, dude.
It came out bomb. Threw in carrots, threw in hominy, threw in some queso cheese like to finish at the end with some onions and cilantro.
Man, you're speaking my language, brother.
It was good. I didn't realize how filling it was going to be. And like I poured myself a big bowl and like I ate half of it and I was like, oh shit. Like I'm full. Okay. All right. Shit.
So do you pour your leftovers back into the pot? Are you that guy?
It depends on what it is. With that, no. Because my mouth's been all over the spoon. It's been all over the bowl. So it would just really contaminate the batch.
All you got to do is heat it up again. It kills everything.
Microwave it. It's fine.
That's true. If it's just me eating it, I don't give a shit. But if I'm going to give it to other people, then I'll be courteous. I'm like, all right, that'd be kind of gross. Like if I went over to someone's house and they were like, oh yeah, I dumped my bowl back in, I'd be like,
apparently people have never lived through the Depression, and it shows.
Yeah, that was 100 years ago.
Anybody that was there, they've long gone.
We lived through the bubonic plague as of recent.
I remember back in 1477.
I remember when Jesus got nailed.
What? He was hung like a horse. It was crazy.
Jesus, man. The wingspan in that guy.
Yeah. No wonder why he got laid, because he was hung like that.
Mark Zickler. Yeah, that was pretty much it for my week.
BZ, what about you?
Wasn't bad, man. We did our company golf tournament, so the latter half of this week was just prepping for that. And then we did 2 flights. So morning flight, I helped get everything checked in, so I had to get there early as shit. And then after that was pretty cool because I just drove around, fucking was the ugliest beer girl everybody saw that day. And then for the second flight, I was actually able to play in the second flight. So got most of the way through. We shot all 16. We didn't get the last 2 holes because we got rained out. But we were 4 under par. So I was excited about that. We also had a fucking pro on our team that golfed the front 9. So we were skewed on our score just a little bit.
They just swept the floor.
Yeah, we used my ball because we were doing best ball. Yeah. We used mine once in that front 9, and it was a she. So here's one thing that I didn't realize: how fucking far up the women's tees are from where we have to fucking tee off.
Yeah.
It's some bullshit. Ooh, look at this. 100%. Fucking wieners.
God damn.
Some fucking schnitzels, guy.
Wow.
Schnitzels.
I'm gonna gargle some of these fucking wieners down.
Wow. That's amazing, being that it
just
came from your wife.
Jerking off under the desk.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
I did watch a funny-ass movie tonight. It was called Jackpot. It's got John Cena and Aquafina.
That just came out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How was it?
It was terribly good. Terribly good. It's one of those movies, but definitely
so it's
worth a
bad
watch.
Film that's worth a watch, basically.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Well, this last week, boys, as you know, I went camping, and I'm tell you what, I'm a much better person now than when I left. Because I was I was fucking grumpy, dude. I was so done with everything to do with life, and then I went and spent several days out in nature, and it was just the best. It was
factory
great.
Reset.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you what. Last day I went camping, so I forgot my pillows, I forgot swim trunks, and I forgot my flip flops. Right. So the flip-flops weren't necessarily for me to go walking around. It was so that way I can shower and not have to worry about athlete's foot. Now, I don't know what an athlete's foot is called.
Just pee on your feet in the shower. Who cares?
That's what I ended up doing. But I don't know what athlete's foot is called for fat people. It was probably just called don't walk foot. But regardless, I was without some things.
Gout.
So, it's called gout. Diabetes.
Too much bacon toe.
Too much bacon toe. Put down the donut, fatty. But I was able to borrow a couple pillows, so that was nice. But the last day I was there, there's this little river. It's the Deschutes River right next to where our campsite was. And we walked down there, and I've got some friends, and they're putting their feet in the water and stuff. And I don't have fucking flip-flops on, dude. I'm wearing socks and fucking shoes, right? And so they're like, put your feet in the water. And I'm like, I'm not putting my fucking feet in the water because then I'm either going to have my shoes all soaking wet or then I'm going to have my socks all soaking wet. Fuck you. And so I finally decide, okay, I'm going to put my feet in the water. And I go down the same path that everybody else did to put their fucking feet in the water. What I didn't realize is that they created a hole right off the berm of the river. So as I go into it, I was holding on to a friend of mine's shoulder. Next thing you know, there I am going down the fucking river, and I brought them in. My hat and my wallet go one way. My fucking drink goes another way. By the way, Capri Sun goes great with Malibu. And so we were sitting there doing that. I was fucking soaked. I was soaking wet. It was my last pair of clean shorts, and I'm like, motherfucker. So the next day I drove up to Washington, and I went and saw Jake. And I'll tell you what, man, get yourself a friend who, when you say, hey, you're going to show up, barbecues you a 30-day fucking dry-aged 32-ounce steak, and then makes potatoes from scratch and fucking green beans and... God damn it, dude. I'm in the wrong profession. I should be sucking the dick of any chef. That's what I should be doing.
I was about to say, I'm like, you sucked his wiener clean.
It would have been if his wife wasn't there. But yeah, had a great visit with Jake and his family.
You're going to have to pay for this somehow, motherfucker. Get to sucking.
Yeah, my mouth needs a break.
I need a break.
But no, it was great. It was a great time off, great time away. I came back a couple days ago. There's a fire in our area, so that's kind of a big deal around here. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was a really good time away. Got to prepare to go back to work tomorrow. Not really looking forward to it, but it is what it is. So anyway, boys, this is my rundown this week. BZ, a few weeks back, a couple episodes ago, maybe 3 episodes ago, you had a coming in blind episode or segment where you were talking about what are the best cop films.
Movies.
And so that really inspired a lot of this rundown. So the first topic that we have coming up is if he got arrested, okay, is what I'm calling it. Now, Gnomey's not here, but I'm sure we all have reasons as to why Gnomey would get arrested. So I'm going to start this bitch off, and I'm going to do my 3. Okay, so if he got arrested is what it's called. So if he got arrested, Beezy would get arrested for doing something like sneaking into a Texas Tech football game by convincing security that his toddler daughter was the team's secret weapon for a trick play. After one too many whiskeys, he'd argue with police that Tech could win if they just used the kid for an onside kick. Naturally, they'd haul him off in handcuffs while he's still trying to explain why his plan was foolproof. So I figured, why not? That's a good reason for Beezy to get arrested. I could see that happening. Beezy, you think that could happen?
I've actually dreamt about that. It's really weird. I guess you were hitting the ayahuasca when you was in fucking wherever the hell he was in the mountains.
We were in the same zone.
Fucking pirating my goddamn dreams.
I kind of figured. Well, let's see how close I get on Stoned here. So Stoned could get arrested for accidentally mistaking a local park's petting zoo for a VIP concert lounge. After indulging a bit too much, he'd wander in with Alyssa and his daughter Avery, thinking that the goats and sheep were part of the trippy pre-show experience. When the cops arrived, he'd argue that the animals were vibing to his aura and claimed he was just waiting for the headliner. Security wouldn't be too amused, and they drag him off where he yells, "I swear that goat was moshing with me." I could see that happening.
And you know what? I stole its Cocoa Pebbles that came out of its ass.
Cocoa Pebbles. Hell yes, dude. Those are more like Cocoa Puffs, but I'm totally with you right there. Totally with you right there. All right, my final one is for the midget. I could see Gnome getting arrested after a heated softball game when he loses his temper and challenges the umpire to a wrestling match to settle the bad call. Being short and already fired up, he climbs into the cooler and tries to look intimidating, but ends up toppling over in the process. Determined to prove his point, Gnome starts waving a baseball bat around and shouting, "I'm taking this game back." The cops arrive just as he's trying to use the cooler as a makeshift wrestling ring while insisting he's just bringing some height to justice. What do you guys think, boys? You guys think that would be happening?
I could see it.
It's a pretty cool idea.
I can see it happening. Stone Baby, what do you got?
You know what? I'm going to start this off with Gnome. Gnome's sitting at home on the couch one day, and his son gets home from work, and son's all just pissy and not having a good attitude, not a good mood that day. Gnome's like, I'm just going to put it aside, and I'm just going to ask him how his day was going. And his son just fired back at him that he hates his life, and he hates how he has to do everything. Blah, 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 blah. And you know what? Gnomey goes, you know what, dude? I think we need a new window and we need a new table. And he just grabs his son, gets up on the table, and just DDTs his face right through it. And then he just fucking suplexes his ass right through the kitchen window. And I was like, damn, that demolition was so much fun.
This is the 4-year-old, right?
Nah, it's a teenager. It's a teenager. The 4-year-old still got some investment left.
He's still under warranty.
Yeah, he's still under warranty, you know. But yeah, and then he goes to jail for like domestic battery, you know, and
I could see that.
You know, assaulting a minor.
Yay, minor.
You know, but you know what? Kid had it coming. He had it coming. I mean, we all did at that age, you know, let's be honest. B-Word. So B-Word's at work one day and he goes, damn, we attempted to account for all this overhead, but we're just sitting with all this money. What are we going to do with all this money? I don't want it to just sit there and go to the higher ups. Hey, I think I'm going to cook the books a little bit and help pay for my secret addiction. which is watching OnlyFans models stick food in their pussy all day, every day. Get that turkey leg. Ooh. Oh. God damn. Look at the way it just rubs against the vulva. And then, sure as shit, they do a raid on his home. And all this is being presented in court as he is being tried for embezzlement, stealing from the state, stealing taxpayers' dollars. And he has a secret cam in his room that shows him just jerking it to some poor, unfortunate soul, shoving a king crab leg into the nether region. And then we all learned something about ourselves that day as we're all sitting at home watching this and jerking off ourselves.
Jerking the gherkin.
Jerking the gherkin. Lastly, Beezy gets arrested for attempted kidnapping and murder. And what happens is
I like it.
Beezy ties a couple too many off. And he's like, you know what? I think that Texas Tech coach lives right down the fucking street from my house. I'm going to trap his ass, and then I'm going to kill his ass. Beezy goes to that guy's yard and digs a big-ass hole, puts this big-ass bear trap on the bottom of it. Goes, God damn, this trap is so fucking good, it almost gets me. Woo! You know what? I gotta bait this sumbitch. Just puts like a nice sturdy piece of cardboard on there and puts a bar stool on top of it with a beer. And it's like, God damn. Whoever sees that's gonna go right up to it and just crack a cold one, sit down. As soon as they sit, whoop! Right into the bear trap. So Beezy sets it, and Beezy goes,
Cold beer.
where the fuck did I put my fucking beer? Oh, shit, it's on that bar stool. God damn. Cracks it and goes, oh, luckily this bar stool's here. And then he just falls right into that fucking trap. And his balls and man fupa just get BAM! Caught right in that fucking trap.
Yeah. My
Gets
moopa.
caught right in that trap. And he's just, all of a sudden, the coach of that tech just hears, just fucking horrible, like eagle mating bird call coming from outside as he is just in there in agonizing pain. And then we see Beezy get arrested for attempted kidnapping and murder.
Fucking love it. I love it.
Beaut.
Yeah.
It's a fucking beaut.
All right, Beezy, what do you got?
So I think Gnome's going to get arrested for a saguaro removal and distribution of a scheduled narcotic. He was extremely aggravated by a saguaro cactus that was blocking his picturesque sunsets. So he decided to chop that little feller down. Looked as like it was dying already and had a huge hole. It was about 4 foot up, so it was a lot higher than he could see in. So he just assumed it was burrowed out from local wildlife. A neighbor called the police when they saw the cactus being defiled. And much to Gnome's surprise, as soon as it was felled, 10 kilos of Columbia Bam Bam fell out of this bad boy. Unfortunately for him, as he was gathering up the bricks of booger sugar, the police were on scene. He was arrested on site, but however, he was only charged with the removal of the saguaro, and he just got a $250 fine since it was already past saving. And the cocaine was determined just to be powdered sugar for cooking, since they just assumed he was a Keebler elf. They didn't charge him for it.
Wow.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Stoned, he got contributing to a minor.
Yay, minor.
Uh-oh.
Stone was on a walk in the park and found a police horse missing the officer. He decided to blow a little of the devil's lettuce into the horse's face and go on an adventure to find its owner. Unfortunately for him, the officer watched him do that, and even worse, tried to slap him with the marijuana charges, but Stone's knowledge of marijuana law befuddled the officer. The officer could only arrest him for contributing to minor because the horse was only 4 years old. Criminal charges are often reduced or dropped, and all suspects are presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court of law.
Let me tell you this. That cop was pissed.
Yeah.
So pissed when I told him that horse's name was Artax, and I was just doing Artax justice. You know what I mean?
Poured one out for your homies.
Poured one out for the homie, baby. Never-ending story. Never forget.
All right. B word. This is a big one. Disturbing the peace, assault on a Leo, destruction of property.
Assaulting a Leo.
Police were called to Super China Buffet Master number 2 this evening. Police were called to Super China Buffet Master number 2 this evening for a belligerent customer. Upon their arrival, they noticed a portly gentleman splayed across the buffet counter, lying in the food. Apparently, the customer was upset, stating, "This isn't all you can eat. It doesn't say anything about time limits." He had been there since opening at 10 a.m., and the police received the call at 9 p.m. The assault on the police officer was applied. When talking to him to calm him down, he continued to shovel food in his mouth and spit it at the police officers. Once wrestled from the buffet line, the counter just collapsed from crush syndrome, and the owners wanted to press charges and apply for a trespass for life. So,
I love it. That's a good one right there, Beezus. I enjoy that. I enjoy that.
I got tears, man. That's a good laugh.
Oh, fuck.
I'd be crying, dude. That's so good.
Oh, shit. All right, boys. Well, let's get to our next segment, and that is... So coming in blind, I figured I would go again with the law enforcement police theme here, and I would top 3 excuses to get out of a speeding ticket. I'll go first. My first one is I'm just trying to get to McDonald's before breakfast ends. I feel like that would work for me. Their big breakfast with hot cakes is a dream, so I would probably go with that. The second one would be... I wasn't speeding. I just got a haircut, and it makes me look fast. I just think that would be something that would be kind of dumb, but would, of course, be something that I would totally do. And then I wasn't speeding. I was just trying to outrun my bad life decisions. I guess they caught up with me. So that's going to be my 3 right there, boys. So with that, Stoned, okay. Let's go with you.
Sure. My first one would be I left the stove on. Because holy shit, who wouldn't race home to shut that shit off? God damn. Nobody needs that homeowner's claim right there. Number 2, trying to get laid, just like make some sob story about how you haven't gotten laid in a long time, and you're just so excited, and you can barely like keep your dick from touching the steering wheel. It's just like the proof is in the pudding right there. Just quickly, just like try to rope it off before they walk up to the door, and then bam, the evidence is right there in your lap. It's like, were you jerking off? No, not at all. See, what happened was I was just getting ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And then number 3 would definitely have to be. I didn't realize how heavy this music was going to be. And my foot just like started tapping to the beat, and I just started increasing speed and had no idea. That'll be the first and last time I listen to Britney Spears, officer. I can definitely assure you that.
With the knives.
And then the next time, oops, I did it again.
It's Brittany Batch.
Britney alone.
Leave Britney alone.
That's so toxic. That's so toxic.
I see what you did there.
All right, BZ, what you got for us?
One that I've used and it has worked. I just shitted. And I'm trying to get home.
Shat is the appropriate word, but I like shitted.
You say shitted when you're drunk. So you really hope you're gambling on going for the speeding ticket versus the Dewey. So, I shitted my britches. I'm trying to get home. This isn't my car. I don't know how it works exactly. And then the truth, this is another one that I've used. That did get me out of a speeding ticket. Just tell the truth. I said, yeah, I honestly didn't think you were going to catch me. And he goes, nice. Oh, well, I did. Here's your warning. Have a good day. Thanks for being honest. I was like,
that's fair. So let's do a little round robin here before we go to the break. What would be Gnomey's reasoning for getting out of a ticket? So I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to say I didn't realize I could push the pedal down that far.
I'm going to say, sorry, my phone book pallet fell, and I slipped onto the gas pedal.
The phone book pallet.
Mine would be that he forgot his booster seat at home and he couldn't see the speedometer.
Oh, shit, I fucking love it. Well, with that, boys, we'll be right back.
At B-Word Media Group, we cherish our podcast roots. Make sure to check out where it all started.
Hey everybody, this is B-Word, one half of the Bleach Brothers podcast, coming at you each and every Sunday with my good buddy, Jake the Hater.
So be sure to join us for this episodic journey where we talk Marvel to movies, food, or anything entertainment. A Spreaker Prime podcast.
Thanks for all the dirty talk, and come back and get sanitized.
In a world filled with COVID and chaos, three dads bring to you a riot of entertainment every hump day.
Hump Day! We are Jordan, a.k.a. the Gnome.
Josh, a.k.a. the Dome.
AJ, a.k.a. the Stone.
And together, we're dads on Dayquil.
Between the three of us, we have 10 kids.
That we know about!
We're talking about you, Johnny Six. Sit down, turn up the volume, and crack a cold one as we bring you a glimpse into our dad lives. We break down our weekly events with our dad stories and tons of shout-outs.
Dad Corner!
We bring you dad games. We also cover music, movies, and all things entertainment. Hell, we even bring you the Stone Safe House for off-the-wall references.
Heyo!
So come check us out on your favorite podcast platform, even if you prefer certain platforms that we don't. Yeah, we're talking about you, Google Podcasts.
Meow.
Dad's out.
What if we had our own mobile fleet of helipads?
You don't need a passport to go to Hawaii because it's still America, you freaking Todd Tom.
What if she's a portly girl?
How does one go about getting abducted by an alien?
I mean, you take your ramen, you throw in a poop bouillon, and boom, nutritionalizing.
What's a poop bouillon?
That's such a Karen thing to do.
Wait, how many Chicken McNuggets?
413!
Did he die?
Fraternize with these guys.
Hey everyone, it's Gnome from the Hateful Gnomes Music Hut. I'm here with my good buddy, Jake the Hater, and we're bringing you a bi-weekly music podcast for all your heavy metal needs. Tell them about it, Jake.
We are here to have our horns up, and we are staying heavy. That is right. Even B-Word is producing behind the scenes, turning his mic off. But you know what? We are going to give the fans something bigger, badder, and fucking bolder. Tune in bi-weekly, a Spreaker Prime podcast.
Welcome back to the Raunchy Regret podcast. This is B-Word. Boys, when I was a part of the Bleach Bros podcast, Jake, my former co-host, had an amazing idea for segments called the Everlasting segments. So of those, we did the Everlasting Jukebox, the Everlasting Movie Reel, etc., so forth, right? So I decided, in the spirit of BZ's coming in blind from a few weeks ago where we had a chance to talk about top cop films, I wanted to really do that justice by bringing back the Everlasting Movie Reel, where we are all going to go round robin and talk about our top 5 cop films. But with every Everlasting segment, we always had 2 honorable mentions. So, boys, I'm going to start off with my honorable mention. So my first honorable mention here would be The Fugitive. Now, The Fugitive with Harrison Ford isn't necessarily where the protagonist is a cop, but it definitely includes cops, and I think that is one of the greatest Harrison Ford movies known to man. I think it's quotable, there's a great cast, I think there's a lot to it, so that's going to be my first honorable mention. Were you both prepared with honorable mentions today?
Yes.
I actually have 5 with 2 honorable mentions, and I doubled it, so I've got like 14.
Oh, all right. So
math checks out.
So Stoned, what's your first honorable mention here, buddy?
So my first honorable mention is actually the opposite of that, which is U.S. Marshals.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Love that movie.
That's very nice. A little bit of
some Tommy Lee Jones. Some
yeah,
TLJ.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah,
I like Tommy Lee.
Snipes.
Mm-hmm.
RDJ.
Yeah, RDJ was in that too. I forgot about that.
Before he went down for all that shit.
I was cracked up RDJ, no less. I like that. All right, Beezy, what's your first honorable mention?
A really good one, not quite as well received as me and everybody I have introduced this movie to, but it was such an odd. I already know kind of where I feel like a bunch of my movies are going to land in the list, so I wanted to think outside of the box. And my first honorable mention is a movie called Knives Out.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That was pretty good.
It's a little murder mystery. There's been a murder.
Yeah, it's that detective with the guy who played James Bond. I always forget that guy's name. But yeah, that was good. That was a big cast, too.
Yeah, big fucking cast.
Yeah. That's a good one. So my second honorable mention here, ironically going back to Harrison Ford a little bit, is Blade Runner.
Yeah.
The original Blade Runner. Was that 1980 something? It's just, I don't think about that as a cop film. But it really is. You know, he was a cop in the movie, so that's why I went with that one. So that's my second honorable mention. Stoned, what do you got for your next one?
I got Hot Fuzz.
Oh yes, dude.
Love that fucking movie so much.
So that was good. That's what I had in my number 3 slot. So I'm gonna dump it out.
You've never seen Bad Boys 2. He just rips the gun in the air and just fires. Bah, 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 bah.
That's such a good movie.
So good.
Such a good movie. All right, Beezus, what's your final one?
All right. One that you probably have not seen is an older one. It's called Another Stakeout. It's got old Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez and Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay.
Never seen that one.
Any good? A long time ago.
I liked it. Now, it's probably been over a decade since I've seen it, so I don't know that it stands up. But I do remember that one, and when I watched it a lot, and it was one that I did enjoy.
So when you guys put together these lists, did you guys have some that couldn't even make the honorable mentions that you just really wanted to talk about?
I had one that I probably would put in the honorable if I could have another one that would be end of watch. When I was making this list, I was like, damn, I really love this movie, but there's a different David Ayer movie that's going to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
And so I purposely, I could fill all the top 5 with just David Ayer movies because I love him so much and the cop movies he makes. But I was like, no, I really just need to put it to 1 so then I can really do justice on the rest and not just have a one biased director. But mine would be End of Watch.
Okay. Beezy?
Obviously,
you came to the table with a million cop movies, so there's that.
I was really kind of hoping to find out what fucking ones we got off of the list. We've only hit 1 so far, but those are also just what you've got for honorable mentions. So in that case, my second one will do Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
I've never even heard of that fucking thing.
Me neither.
It is fucking terrible. Terrible movie. But
Like straight to DVD.
great. Yes. Like way worse than Jackpot that I watched tonight. Way fucking worse than that. It's like an 80s movie. So, big hair, big guns. It's all like in Hawaii. So one of my favorite scenes is there's a dude that jumps on a motorcycle and he shoots a rocket launcher at him. And it's so fucking low budget that you can actually see they put a dummy on the motorcycle and just launched it and then had timed explosives. I don't think they had the budget for CGI. It just looks terrible, but it adds to the character.
Well, it's like Velocipaster, car on fire.
Oh yes, 100%.
The one that I wanted to add, and it didn't make my honorable mentions, nor did it make my top 5, was Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Strictly because you have the T-1000 who was a cop, but I didn't feel like he was a cop enough to make it a cop film, if that makes sense. But I love that movie so much. So
it's the best one.
Yeah, it's weird for there to be a sequel that is so much better than the original. You know what I mean?
And it like completely swapped genres because the first movie arguably is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the second movie is like sci-fi action adventure.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's so good. So good. All right, boys. Well, in the spirit of that, let's go round robin. Let's go through our top 5. I'm just going to kind of flip the order here real quick. Beezy, what's your number 5?
Police Academy.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I like that. And what about you, Stoned?
Mine's Die Hard with a Vengeance.
See, I figured you were going to have a Die Hard one on here.
It was one of my all-time favorite movies when I was a kid. It was hard not to pick the first one, but I do love Vengeance just a little bit more.
Right.
Especially Jeremy Irons' portrayal. Top-notch character.
Yeah, he's just a great actor in general. I really enjoy that one. For my number 5, it's going to be Super Troopers. I think Super Troopers is just an amazing film. It's especially for the Broken Lizard comedy series, or whatever.
Best one of all of them.
It's at least top 2, if not number 1. I mean, I truly love Super Troopers, so that's where I went with that one.
I gave that one as that one. Super Troopers was Gnome's honorable mention.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
That's what I'm giving it to him.
Yeah, well, his second honorable mention would have been Kindergarten Cop, because that's the one that he came to the table with. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, so we're going to go with that. All right, Beezy, what's your number 4?
Number 4. This was a tough one. So I'm going to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, fucking The Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Little Sean Connery and some Nick Cage action in there. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. That's a good film.
Love that movie.
And Gnomes was Rush Hour.
Yeah. Was he tall enough to see Rush Hour when it came out? I feel like there was a height limit on that ride.
There was.
Okay, but he snuck in.
Okay.
He just looked at the bouncer, went "fuck off."
he just nibbled an ankle for a minute. All right, Stone, what you got next?
Mine is Copland.
That's a good one with Sylvester Stallone.
Love Copland. Yeah, it's so good. Like just the whole conspiracy behind it. And like there's this like section of the city that's like owned by cops and ran by cops, and like everything kind of happens under the radar by the cops. Especially like Ray Liotta's just standing there like realizing he killed his wife. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Some of my favorite movie genres are mafia. And so I mean, I completely have to say that with a couple movies that make my list. But number 4 for me is going to be The Departed. The Departed with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jack Nicholson and Matt Damon and Marky Mark and fucking everybody's in that movie, right? But Leonardo DiCaprio is a statey. He's a state police officer, and then you're dealing with Matt Damon, who I think was part of the Boston Detectives. I don't remember, but
the local,
dude, that hit me on a couple different fronts, and I love The Departed. I think it's one of the best films just in general that's out there. So that's what I.
Now for me, it was really hard to keep that off the list and to keep Donnie Brasco too, because I love Donnie Brasco. Yeah, and I was like, more than likely we'll do another one of these that's going to be mob, or gangster. So I'm just going to leave those for that.
Yeah,
so I purposely left those 2 for that list.
Okay, gother. All right,
Yeah,
BZ, what
yeah.
do you got for number 3?
This was another one. So we used Hot Fuzz. The other one that I've got was the backup. I'm not sold on it, but it's one that I've actually watched more than my backup's backup. So we'll go with it, but it's Bulletproof. There was Damon Wayans and
Okay,
Adam
that's
Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know that one. That's a good one.
That's actually a good one.
They're laying on the heart bed.
Yeah, yeah.
In the little honeymoon suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie. That's a good movie.
Sandler was so green too.
He
He
was.
was a brand new actor.
Yeah.
I remember that movie when he gets shot at the end, and he's like, "Oh man, I got shot in the arm. That kind of sucks."
Yeah. Yeah.
He would sell it so much better now.
Oh, he would. He would. He's a much better actor now. All right, Stone, what do you got for your next one?
My third one is Face Off.
Oh, okay. All right.
Love that movie.
You fucking bitch.
Was that in yours?
Anything Nick Cage is on fucking Beezy's list, bro.
That was my eeny, meeny, miny, mo was between The Rock and Face Off.
Nice.
And this, honestly, have you guys watched that lately? Like within the last few years?
Yeah.
I would
Face
say
Off or The
probably
Rock?
like 5 or 6 years ago, most
Face
likely.
Off in particular. I mean, I've watched
Yeah,
both of them.
I watched both of them.
My only complaint about Face Off, aside from like some of the stuff that didn't exist at the time, like some of the technology and AI or CGI and whatever, is the soundtrack. Because there's music playing the entire fucking film, and it doesn't shut off. And that's my
Full
only
score,
complaint
baby.
about that fucking thing. But the movie holds up well. It's just that I just can't stand the music. Just can't stand it. So, all right, number 3, Stoned already talked about it, but End of Watch. I've not man cried to a movie like this in a long time, man. Like when I first saw this movie, I was super invested in the storyline. Really loved the brotherhood that the two characters created.
And then the ending. God damn it.
Dude. I sat there and I man-balled for a long time. I think I cried for a good 30 or 40 minutes after the movie ended. Like, it was tough. But for that reason, because it got that much emotion out of me, I always have to put that one on a top 5 list in this category. So, End of Watch is my number 3.
Fair enough. Well, so then number 3 for Gnome is going to be Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy's actually a really good fucking film, and one that I almost put on this list. I'm not even gonna lie. When the kid from Hook, I don't remember what that kid's name was, but he was the same kid that was the kid in Dick Tracy, but then he was also Robin Williams' son in Hook. When he looks at fucking Dick Tracy's girlfriend and he's like, "You go suck an egg," I was like, I don't even know what that means, but that is the coolest fucking phrase that I've ever heard. And Madonna, hottest movie that Madonna's ever been in, period. Like, she was hot back then. Now she looks like Rocky Dennis, but that's a whole different story. So
now she looking like Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, exactly.
She looks like Mickey Rourke had sex with Tekashi 6ix9ine.
It looks like she's preparing to star in The Wrestler Part 2.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
All right, Beezus, what's your number 2?
Number 2. One of my great. This was a toss up between first place or second place. I had to give the edge to my first place winner, but number 2 for me is going to be Seven.
Oh,
ooh, yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Kevin Spacey was great in that fucking film, by the way.
Yeah,
What's in the fucking box, man?
When I was looking at, I looked up like a giant list just to make sure I wasn't keeping any cop movies out, and I saw that movie on there, and I was like, I really love that movie, and I was like, well, if we do a suspense list,
yeah,
I might keep that for a suspense list.
Yeah,
because I've got some bangers for a suspense.
And this is the same thing. Like, I almost put Silence of the Lambs on my list. For the same reason. But I think of Silence of the Lambs more as a suspense or a horror film, and that just didn't quite fit with what I was looking to do with my list here, but I completely understand why that's on your list, Beezy. Totally. All right, so what you got next?
Mine is Street Kings. It was hard not to put Street Kings at number 1, but my number 1 means a little bit more to me and has for a little bit longer than Street Kings has. But Street Kings, that's like my number one Keanu Reeves film. This like Matrix is like right there, right underneath, but I love Street Kings. It's so good.
Yeah.
Once again, kind of like Copland with the corruption of the police department, and he stumbles into this giant investigation. Partner gets fucking brutally murdered right in front of him by other cops. You know, that, and then like Chris Evans is in it too, you know, and then like at the end, that was like a man cry moment where I was like, don't tell me Cap is dead. What the fuck? God damn it. Like, it was good. That was a good fucking movie.
Yeah. Oh, totally agree with that one. My number 2, actually, Stone, you already fucking brought it up for the same reasoning as why it's higher than The Departed. Donnie Brasco. I think that, so Johnny Depp, Al Pacino, you also have Michael Madsen, who's a phenomenal actor in and of his own right. But I love the story of Donnie Brasco. Again, I love everything to do with the mob, as we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Before we were recording tonight. I didn't even listen to the last episode just because I was too busy binging a book on the mob called The Five Families. But I just fell in love with this movie. I actually watched the movie before I knew the story. And that was one of those things where I was then able to turn around and I was able to watch like the Justice Files or one of those shows on it and really learn a lot more about the characters and stuff. And yeah, I really love Donnie Brasco. I just thought it was a really well done film. And I thought that the relationships in it were probably the most impactful thing in there. So that's my number 2 for sure. So
hell yeah.
That brings us
Gnome's
to
number 2.
Yes.
He said he wanted to use Time Cop.
Time Cop.
With Van Damme.
Not Judge Dredd. Time Cop. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that sounds like a gnome list for sure. That's totally it.
Judge Dredd, when that one came up, I was like, that's got to go on a sci-fi list.
Yeah.
I can't put that on a cop list. But that's like a pretty good cop movie too, for like especially police department corruption.
Yeah, absolutely. Minority Report was another one that I almost put on this list too, but that fell right into that category. Demolition Man. Yeah, I could totally understand why Demolition Man would be on that one too. So, all right, well, Beezy, let's go around. Number 1, what do you got on your list?
I stand firm with this one. Training Day. That's what we did for my fucking episode of Coming in Blind, and I'm sticking with it. Training Day is the best one.
Stoned.
My number 1's going to be Lethal Weapon 2.
2? Really?
Number 2, yeah. The fucking South Africans. Because like shit really got real in that movie. Like real fucking hard, real fucking fast.
Right.
Especially when they were just knocking down doors, like killing everyone. You know, R.I.P. Hank from Breaking Bad.
Right.
Like they just started killing everyone. And like shit got really fucking real. And then, like, I just love at the end, you know, just that classic 80s line, you know, diplomatic immunities, like, it got revoked. Like, perfect 80s line. Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, but I love everything to do with that movie. It's so good. It was really hard not to pick it over number 3, because I do love number 3 as well. Once again, tying into that, like, police department corruption, you know, with the armor-piercing bullets and shit.
Pre-anti-Semitism.
Yeah. How did you know? Yeah. The Lethal Weapon series is good, dude. I really enjoy that one. Yeah. All right. My number 1, I'm sticking with Beezy's list again. Point Break. Point Break is one of my all-time favorite movies. I'll probably get criticized until the day I die for that one. But my name's Johnny Utah. Fucking love it. I love everything to do about that movie. I love Patrick Swayze. I love the fucking I don't remember what her name was, but the chick who ran the board shop that was also in fucking A League of Their Own. She was a sister. Loved her in it. I love the music in it. I fucking love everything about it. So.
She the one that was the
Lori Petty.
That's in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, she was. She played Dyke very well in Orange is the New Black. She was really, really good in that one too. She was only, you know, what's funny is that she wasn't really like a crazy character in that one. Like she was crazy, but she wasn't like like crazy eyes or whatever that chick was that would pee while staring at you. But that was, but yeah, she played a good character in that one for
Little
sure.
did I know that was going to cost me extra as I got older.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. So what would Stone's number one be there, BZ?
He had two, and he couldn't decide whether he wanted a good one or a better one. So his good one was No Country for Old Men. And then his better one was Reno 911 Miami.
Oh, yeah. I think he would go with the better one. I could see that.
Either way, he sucks.
Either way, he sucks, he says. That's so funny. That's so funny.
That is a shit list if I've ever seen one.
Well, rounding this one out, boys, I didn't know how much time we would have. Obviously, if we had another person here, we'd probably be using a little bit more time. But let's go into this final topic. So, top 3 police cars, real or fake. So, bring your list. So, I went through and I was like, okay, am I going to go with Hollywood police cars? Am I going to go with like the police car from Roger Rabbit? Am I going to do like all these sort of things, right? And so I came up with a list of my own for top 3, but I kind of want to go round robin with this. I just want to verify you guys got 3 yourselves. You got any honorable mentions or anything?
I just did 3.
Okay, so I do have a couple honorable mentions that I just want to throw out there. The police interceptor from RoboCop I thought was pretty cool. That was one that I wanted to put out there. And then this really isn't a police car, but it kind of has the same features of a police car, and I wanted to bring up Kit from Knight Rider. I just thought that would have been like a cool police car to have on there. So, going with top 3, I'm going to go with my third, which is the Pursuit Special from Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior.
Yeah,
and that's going to be my number 3. So let's go reverse order this time. Stone Baby, what do you got for your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be the orange Toyota Supra from Fast and the Furious. Because
yes,
god damn,
yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
So pretty. I almost went with the green one, and then I was like, nah, we're going with the orange.
I couldn't fit in it, but I get you, 100%. Beezy, what you got?
My number 3 is right on the same lines of yours, but the first one. So Mad Max, the last V8 Interceptor. It was a 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT.
Yeah.
I think it was fucking rocking, man.
That was a good one. I liked
it.
So my number 2 is going to be Zed's police car from Men in Black.
Oh, Zed's dead, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty
movie.
dope. I thought that one was pretty dope. So, Stone, what you got, baby?
My next one's going to be the 2008 Dodge Charger from Street Kings. Just fucking so sick. Just like it's all black too. Like that entire car is just all black.
Yeah.
And then when he opens up that trunk and he's got it's decked out, fucking like shotgun MP5, like bulletproof vest. I'm like, whoo, damn, baby.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Beezy?
So my number 2 was kind of I was getting loose with the police cars. So
interpretation.
Because it is an actual police car from Transformers Barricade. He was a 2007 Saline Mustang.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that you didn't take mine, because I was like, oh shit. He's like, well, I'm kind of thinking outside the box, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck, he's going to take mine. So with that, let me give you mine here real quick. The Bluesmobile from the Blues Brothers.
I almost had that one,
because
dude.
I was like, well, it was a police car. It's not quite a police car, but that's definitely the one that I have right there. So,
hell yeah.
All right, Stone, what you got?
My number 1 is and always will be 1976 Ford Gran Torino.
Oh,
Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, I love that.
The striped tomato, baby.
I love that one. I love that one. All right, Beezy, number 1.
This was a poster that I purchased in early grade school at a Scholastic book fair.
Nice.
Fucking baller.
It was fucking Don Johnson playing Sonny Crockett from Miami Vice, and it was 1989 Ferrari Testarossa, baby.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Cherry
dude.
red. That was my fuck, dude. That was my shit right there. I had that over my bed, man.
That's
First
a nice
Ferrari I
one.
could ever actually pronounce correctly.
I'm telling you, when I was
that
trying
a
to come up,
Lamborghini Panawazin?
a Lamborghini. I'm telling you, when I came up with this rundown, I came up with so many ideas, and I really had to consolidate strictly because. But like some of the things that I was thinking was like best cop TV shows. I was thinking like best cops in general, like which fictional cops are the best cops. Like I came up with so many ideas, and it was hard to try to narrow it down. But I feel like honestly we came up with a pretty good list all the way around. Even the ones that Gnome chose, that he doesn't know that he chose, I think we're still pretty good considering. So yeah, man, I'm all about this life. I think that this was good. It was a good episode, boys.
Hell
With
that, let's just go ahead and end this shit right here.
Fuck yeah.
And episode 36, I think it is. I've been out a week.
36,
but I think it's 36.
yes.
Stay raunchy.
Fuck you, no.
Later.
I say just give them hell.
All right, so would Gnome actually fit traditionally in the back of a police car? Or would they actually need to put a booster seat just to keep DOT laws and all that sort of shit?
I think he might be the only person that actually fits comfortably.
He actually could cradle in the fucking dig outs that they have for your handcuffs.
I don't know that police cars are so comfortable with arresting toddler-sized people, but I assume that they're probably okay with it.
But I did have one more top police car that I just remembered. Apparently, TxDOT state troopers decided that they were going to commandeer a vehicle and make it theirs. And I got pulled over by a brand new fucking Chevy Camaro. I was going one way, they were coming the other. I was like, holy shit, you see that fucking cop car? I didn't even know they had Camaros like that. And then he flipped the bitch and pulled me over.
Watch out, you think you're big baller. Bow down to make another dollar. Stand up and hear the world holler. I say just give them hell.